Welcome, race fans, to Petty International Raceway here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Riverglade, New Brunswick for the start of the 2026 Maritime Short Track Stock Car Racing season, headlined by the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Of course, heat races beginning the day for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, 10 laps each. We'll be returning back with the passing point system that will decide the starting lineup for today's LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. We got 18 of the best super late model drivers from across the Maritimes that will go at it here on the high banks here in Riverglade. But here come the super late models to begin today's event and the 2026 Maritime Stock Car Racing season. So 10 lap heat races. Couple of them here for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. To decide the starting lineup for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150, again, the passing point system is back to decide. So again, the way that works, whoever accumulates the most passes in each of these heat races, that will be all tallied. All their points will be tallied together, and whoever has the most positive points will start higher in the lineup for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150, and then those that have negative points, so they lose the most positions compared to when they started this race. So, for example, Cal Hatfield, the number 11 Hatfield Auto Body Machine, starting on pole here for this first heat race. If he falls back 2 positions, he ends up finishing third. That's a -2 for him. You got the 88 of Kevin Moore in second place. Richie's Carpet Warehouse, Dunham's Contracting, and others. If he goes from second to first in this heat race, that's a +1 for him. So Cal Hatfield coming from Quispamsis, New Brunswick, in his second full-time season on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Kevin Moore to his outside at a Richard Buckler Road, New Brunswick. 81 of Ian Rasmussen, the new Denmark Auto number 81 machine. And a new Denmark, New Brunswick. 8 is Ken Vincent. That's Prince Edward Island's Iron Man at a Crapo Prince Edward Island. Full time on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series for the first time in car number 32 for Tops to Floors. Morrison's Transport and East Coast International Trucks from Stratford, Prince Edward Island. The 32 is Chris Hughes. And making his debut on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series in the number 4 Petty International Raceway Super Late Model at a Grand Baruchel, New Brunswick, the Flying Frenchman is Michael Cormier. So 6 cars for 10 laps. The 2026 Maritime Stock Car Racing season is finally underway. Oh, sideways was Rasmussen as Hughes goes to the bottom, down the back straightaway. Hatfield Moore side by side for the race lead. Hatfield's going to clear and lead lap number 1. Still sideways. Everybody bumping each other here early on this first heat race. Again, hot temperatures. We're just about an hour or so away from getting to the hottest temperatures on the day. These drivers dealing with a very slick racetrack. We did have a decent cloud cover here for just a little bit, with the sun just trying its best to peek through. So the track grip is definitely going to lose itself just a little bit. And of course, a lot of rubber has been put down from all the race cars from the earlier practices. Hatfield continues to lead the way ahead of Ken Vincent. Those 2 cars that pulled away. Kevin Moore hanging on in third. Rasmussen, Hughes, side by side in position. It's number 4 and 5 in behind them. Michael Cormier, multi-time Petty International Raceway champion Cormier, making his Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series debut, and he's going to go inside Rasmussen to try and get to the 5th position. Meanwhile, up front, Ken Vincent to the outside of Cal Hatfield. Door to door through 1 and 2 and down the back. Vincent, a former Riverglade International champion here at Petty Raceway. Multi-time IWK 250 champion as well. Vincent knows how to make season opening statements, especially on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. When he made his return to full-time competition 2 years ago, he almost podiumed with us in the season opening event here at Petty Raceway. I mean, the guy's nearing 60 years old, still going at it. Most career starts on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour. Fan favorite, a pleasure to have the red number 8 machine here with us. So Hatfield back in second. Oh, contact for third. Hughes nudges more up the hill. through 3 and 4. They're going to be side by side. Moore's going to get Hughes at the line as there's the white flag for the number 8 of Ken Vincent. Still kind of jostling back there towards the back of the field. Vincent's going to get the checker flag. First heat race win on the year. Hatfield second. Hughes third. At the line, Cormier by about half a car length over Kevin Moore. And then Ian Rasmussen rounding out the 6-car field in this one. Folks, give it up for your first heat race winner on the year in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, the 8 of Kent Vincent. So, Sean, a little bit of aggressive racing there to start this one off. Again, we're not at the feature just yet, but these drivers are certainly trying to experiment with each other.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you've seen them there getting a little aggressive in the back there. We saw the 88 of Moore there over getting a little loose and a little side hit, get a bump. And how about Ken Vincent there? He kind of laid low in second there most of the race there, and then halfway through he took the lead and didn't look back from there.
Great hard charge. That's going to be huge for him and possibly getting the EIT Race Radios pole for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. And each feature pole sitter is going to get $150 in hard cash from Brent Rowley at EIT Race Radios. Again, that's Atlantic Canada's most trusted and reputable source for race team communications. They'll also have a banquet prize at the year-end banquet as well. So again, thanks to EIT Race Radios for supporting the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Heat race number 2. 6 cars in this one as well, and we got some big names in this field, most certainly. Starting off with your reigning series champion, the youngest ever super late model champion across Atlantic Canada in the Chris Fournier Remax Rayners Automotive King Competition number 01. From Summerside, Prince Edward Island, it's Tanton Woolridge. Behind him, the Ahe Horn & Son Limited number 20. Greg Fay comes to us from St. Stephen, New Brunswick. Bayview Trucks and Equipment on car number 43. Out of St. Martin's, New Brunswick, that's a former Series Rookie of the Year recipient, Hudson Weston. A new look for car number 03 for Halpin Excavating and GD Fabrication and Race Cars. That is Steve Halpin out of the Port City of St. John. As a matter of fact, out of the Port City, we have 2 drivers there starting in 4th and 5th. In behind, a rookie on the series, making his first start with us since 2023 for Kels Industrial Group, AJW Mechanical and others, Clark Moore. And then another driver, Halpin and the driver, the number 26, both cars competing full-time on the series. Halpin first time since 2023. Langell, his first time after being part-time with us last year, full-time on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour in his return to full-time competition. The Coldstream Clear Distillery, Velocity Machining and Welding, number 26, comes to us from Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia, trying to become the first Nova Scotian champion on the series. It's Braden Langell. Yet again, 6 cars, 10 laps. Woolridge will lead them around to the green flag. Half a car length, the 01 ahead of the 20 down the back and through 3 and 4. Woolridge might try to clear down the front. Oh, that right rear quarter panel, the 01 and the left front of the 20. Just inches apart. The 01 will get ahead down the back. Single file throughout this whole field is now Halpin. Will clear into 3rd. Langell's already made his way past Moore and Weston. Langell racing with us at Petty both times last year. His first couple career starts with the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Also made a start over at Oyster Bed Speedway as well. Langell finishing 3rd in both of the Petty races, the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 and the LV Auto Parts and Repair Riverglade International 200. Which, yes, our season finale will yet again be the Riverglade International here in 2026. Over 6 years of running that event. That'll be, of course, in mid-August. Couple car lengths between the 01 and the 20 as they'll come to 6 laps completed and 4 to go. Halpin putting the pressure on Fay. Braden Langel's in there as well. 3 cars. You could put a blanket over them right now through 3 and 4. Langel peeking to the outside of Halpin. The 03 head P3 at the line. But Langel's just about right there. That's 2 cars right in the mirror of Greg Fay. 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks in the air. So Halpin stuck right now in both offense and defense as he gives the tap to Fay from behind. 20 keeps going. White flag. What a hard charge this has been by Langel. He might try to get second here, passing both Fay and Halpin on the outside. Checker flag for Tan Warwich at the line. Langel will take the runner-up position. Fay third, Halpin fourth, and then Weston and Clark Moore. Coldstream Clear Distillery, light apple beer in particular, the drink for this number 26 paint scheme, and then Velocity Machining and Welding, RLS Construction, Arsenault's RV Repair, and Tektronix Machine Works on the number 26 of Give It Up for Braden Langel. And Tan Warwich as well, he won the race. And of course, the top 3 for all these heat races will head to the Long Anchor Tech area. Again, Long Anchor Racing Products sponsoring all tech things related for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series this year. We're using all Long Anchor Racing Products tech equipment over there in the Long Anchor Tech area, tech shed, whatever you want to call it there, just beyond turn 3. Long Anchor being a leading manufacturer, winning racing and performance parts and products. You can visit them at longanchorracing.com. Third and final heat race to set the starting lineup for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Yet again, 6 cars, again 18 total. Starting up front, we can't call him Big Orange anymore because he's got a new yellow look on that number 1 machine and a new sponsor as well, Service Master Clean, Moncton, McLaughlin's Overhead Doors, CSN Collision Center, Dana's, and other sponsors for car number 1, the pride of Harvey, New Brunswick, is Ryan Messer. Yep, there are the cheers. Expected that. A great supporting group for Ryan Messer, I must say. One of the best ones here on the series. Car number 30 is Marcel LeBlanc out of Bouctouche, New Brunswick for East Coast Auto Salvage and Car Crushing. Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems on car number 97, sponsoring the title sponsor, and he's an employee for them as well. Chris Duncan out of Hampton. Devin Snell in the number 10 machine for the Snell Group Realty and the Power Store. Ashton Tucker for White Lighting Auto Center, Hot Sea Atlantic, and Brad Silver Motorsports number 2. Nav Canada on number 16 for Dylan Gosby. Green flag in the air. Messer was a little wiggly there, but lost the back end through turn 1. Messer having to replace his fuel pump earlier today. Wasn't able to get a whole lot of time in our second and final practice on the day. And this track has, at least until last year, been an Achilles heel for the driver, the number 01. Is a former winner in other divisions here at Petty Raceway, but still in a super late model, still trying to break through. He finished second to Ashton Tucker both times in both LV Auto Parts and Repair races here at Petty in 2025. And he's really pulling away from Marcel LeBlanc here now with 3 laps completed, 7 to go. And look at that Brad Silker Motorsports machine, the number 2 of Ashton Tucker, again trying to go for 6 Petty wins in a row on the series. He's gotten past Duncan, and now we'll look ahead towards Snell and LeBlanc. Snell ran into a flat left rear tire earlier today during the first practice session. Talked to him earlier today in the pits. His speculation was that maybe the quarter panel there on the, again, left rear tire, that quarter panel may have dug into the tire. Again, these cars digging right into the track. They're so close right down there, bumping it all the way around. Tucker gave the bumper there Down the back as Messer will get to the line at 7 laps completed now. Tucker hounding Devin Snell again. Tucker drew dead last for heat race draws. So based on how these heat races have gone thus far, I'm thinking your names like Ken Vincent, Braden Langell, Ashton Tucker are going to be up there, starting high for the LVL Parts and Repair 150 as there's the white flag for Ryan Messer. Oh, there might have been a bit of a touch there as Snell and Tucker are going at it. Door to door down the back as Messer's going to come back to the checker flag and he'll pick up himself a heat race victory. Tucker at the line. Car number 2 gets position number 2. Snell third, and then LeBlanc, Duncan. And there you go for heat race number 3. Again, the Service Master Clean number 1 machine. Yep, I can hear the fans. Be louder for Ryan Messer. We're just about set to go racing here and begin the 2026 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season here at Petty International Raceway in Riverglade, New Brunswick. It's the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. And out of the 18 drivers here today, I'm here with rookie Michael Cormier. He is making his 3rd career Super Late Model start and 2nd on a tour, but first with us. So Michael, of course, welcome to Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series competition. How are you feeling here today so far?
Oh, we're feeling pretty good. Car's it's turning, so that's a good sign. Had a few issues in the morning, but got everything fixed up, and we're ready to go for the last practice, see what we got.
Now, how did this come together here? It's been a little while since you've been in one of these cars. Talk about this car, how it's been going, and how this all came together.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of hung around a little bit and figured it was a good deal for everyone. Try to get this car out and see if we can get some speed out of it. Pretty excited to be running the Petty Raceway at Mike Stevens Memorial and Oval Law Racing number 4. I mean, that's a pretty cool opportunity for me. This will be the best car I'll ever get in, so hopefully we can make a couple more starts.
I mean, this racetrack and you have such a great relationship. I mean, multi-time champion at this racetrack, Riverglade International, Mike Stevens Memorial in street stock competition. You broke through in late model sportsman competition as well last year at the Mike Stevens Memorial. So with all that coming into today here with your first start in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, how confident are you based on how your past has been? Now, again, different car, but still, my point stands.
Yeah, I mean, I think, the car is so good that it kind of gives you confidence by itself. I'm not looking to set the world on fire, but if we can get a good finish and maybe stay on the lead lap, that'd be a win for us. I mean, there's a lot of good cars out here, and just looking to kind of put my name out there and try to compete with some of them at least.
And now, how is it transitioning between these cars here? You got the late model sportsman here, and then you got the super late model here. What's it been like?
Oh, this feels like a piece of junk compared to this one, but it's a big difference. But for me, I've been in 3 or 4 cars every weekend my entire life, so to be able to translate from one car to another, it's not that bad. I just got to change my style a little bit going in. I mean, sportsman car, you're overdriving the car 24/7, and then this one kind of got to ease up. I keep coming off the track and they're telling me I'm overdriving it, and then I'm backing off. They're like, you're not driving hard enough. So I'm just trying to keep up with everyone and try to, do everything that I need to do to get this thing going to max speed.
Now, we got a stout field here, of course, and your experience in this car compared to some of these other guys, obviously there is a big difference, but how confident you're going into this one, and what are you looking to get out of today?
I mean, I raced against a lot of them in other divisions, and, I mean, they're all great people. This series is a good series, and, they respect each other, so I'm excited. I think, we're going to have a good car, and it'll be a good show. I believe, was it 19 or 20 cars today, so, we got a little bit of ways to go. We're starting at the back of the heat race, but I guess passing points is the way you qualify, so that'll be cool, and hopefully I can just keep up with everyone.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
That's Michael Cormier, driver, the number 4 Petty International Raceway Super Late Model, making his Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series debut today at Petty International Raceway. Oh, I have been waiting for this. What a sight this is. Atlantic Canada's best. Ready to do battle here on the high banks of Petty International Raceway. 150 green flag laps presented by LV Auto Parts and Repair. Petty Raceway, are you ready? No, you can be louder than that. This is the first race of the season. We've been waiting since September. Petty Raceway, are you ready? There we go. Starting shotgun on the grid. Dylan, if you could. Dylan, passenger side. Drivers, if you go to your passenger side so the fans can see. I forgot that reminder. Close enough. We'll go from there. Starting shotgun on the grid. It's car number 16 for NAV Canada, King Competition, Picket Care, KLR Motorsports, the driver from Cornwall, Prince Edward Island, inaugural series champion in 2023, Dylan Gosby. Of course, we have a lineup of sponsors from Easy-Kleen LV Auto Parts and Repair, shaking the hands of these drivers as they're getting set to go racing. Next up on the grid, the Benji Curtis Realtor, New Denmark Auto, Hanscom's Auto Body, CarQuest Grand Falls, number 81 machine from New Denmark. It's Ian Rasmussen. Next up on the grid in car number 88 for Richie's Carpet Warehouse, Northside Auto Parts, Dunham's Contract, and many others. The driver from Richard Buckdale Road, New Brunswick. Yes, he may or may not have been the guy that tried to replicate the Dukes of Hazzard last year. Sorry for the reminder. Kevin Moore. Next up, it's the driver of the car sponsoring the title sponsor for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series in the Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems and Auto Body Plus number 97. He's a former Pro Stock champion here from Hampton. It's Chris Duncan. From St. Martin's, New Brunswick for Bayview, Shoreland Transport, Connors Transfer, GD Fabrication, and Race Cars. Former Rookie of the Year on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Please welcome Hudson Weston. Back to the inside in car number 30 for East Coast Auto Salvage and Car Crush and DR Scrap Metals, St. Antoine Home Hardware Billing Center. Many other sponsors for the driver from Bouctouche, a former sportsman winner here at Petty, Marcel LeBlanc. Next up on the grid in car number 54 for Kelson Industrial Group, the Power Store, and others, making his first start on the series since 2023, third career start from the port city of St. John, New Brunswick. Please welcome Clark Moore. To his inside from St. Stephen, New Brunswick for AEH, Horn and Son Limited Custom Brokers, Carmichael Top Shelf Cabinets, Atlantic Groundworks, the Herring Pub, and others. Please welcome the 20 of Greg Fay. Next up on the grid in car number 11 for Hatfield Auto Body and Glass and D. Hatfield Incorporated from Quist Pimps, New Brunswick, it's Cal Hatfield. Next up in car number 03 for CRF Chassis, GD Performance, Halpin Excavating, J. Cole Trucking, AJ Millett and Sons, Halpin Excavating, many others. Car number 03, also from the port city of St. John, New Brunswick. Welcome back to full time on the series, Steve Halpin. Starting 8th, a winner at Speedway 660 with us last year for the Snell Group Realty and the Power Store, TL Armstrong & Sons Limited, Lonnie Somerville Racing, Brownsville Farms Limited. Please welcome Devin Snell. Next up on the grid, in the new Service Master Clean Moncton McLaughlin Overhead Door CSN Collision Center in Dana's Waterfront Pub and Erie #1 machine, the pride of Harvey, New Brunswick, no longer Big Orange. You can call him Ryan Messer. To our top 6, starting with our reigning series champion, the youngest super late model champion in the history of Atlantic Canada for Chris Fournier, Remax King Competition, SGK Atlantic Limited, and many other sponsors for the 01 of Tintin Woolwich. Next up, from Grand Barishwal, New Brunswick, in the #4 Petty Raceway Super Late Model, making his debut in the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, it's the Flying Frenchman, Michael Cormier. And to our top 2 rows, another driver to welcome full-time onto the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series for East Coast International Trucks, Tops to Floors, Morrison's Transport, IAGYC Enterprises. From Stratford, Prince Edward Island, it's Chris Hughes. And now to our top 3. I'm sure you all know this driver. For White Lightning Auto Center, Baisley's, Hot Sea Atlantic, Lefty's Cannabis, King Competition, and driving for Brad Silka Motorsports, looking for 6 straight Petty wins on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. From Miramichi, it's Ashton Tucker. And now to our front row. How about this at a Prince Edward Island's Iron Man from Crapo, Prince Edward Island, a former Riverglade International champion, IWK 250 champion. It's Kent Vincent. And oh boy, am I going to love to see this car full-time on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series this year. Back-to-back podium finisher at Petty Raceway on the series last year. And car number 26 for Coldstream Clear Distillery, Velocity Machining and Welding Incorporated, many other sponsors for the driver from Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. Your EIT Race Radio's pole sitter is Braden Langell. Braden, this is quite the welcome to full-time competition with us, eh?
Yeah, can't ask for much more to this point of the day. We struggled a little bit early, thrashed on a little bit to try and get some more front cut out of it, and I think the race tires kind of helped that out a little bit for us. So we got 150 here, just see what happens.
And you got a heck of a piece right here from Coldstream Clear Distillery. What went into this paint scheme?
We went back and forth on all kinds of different drink schemes, and this is kind of where we ultimately ended up. They hard to top the chili pop car from last year, but we tried our damnedest here with the apple beer car.
I was going to say you're going to try to go for another podium here, but maybe this time, third time's the charm, Petty on the series. Maybe a win this time.
Yeah, obviously a podium is great, but we got one goal in mind this year, and that's the #1. Somebody's got to dethrone the 2 car, so hopefully it's the 26 car today.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
That's the 26 of Braden Langell, your first EIT Race Radio's pole sitter of the season.
Right now. Do they know what to do up there?
Ellen's up there and she's ready.
Now, while drivers are preparing for competition, we're going to try again a second time here despite the technical difficulties earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, race fans, we ask that you please rise if you're able and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Drivers, prepare for competition.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
What a spectacle this is here on the front stretch of the Riverglade Oval here of Petty International Raceway, 18 of Atlantic Canada's best. Set to start the 4th year for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series, 3rd for Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems as the title sponsor. Again, big thanks to them for continuing their support of maritime stock car racing and also LV Auto Parts and Repair as well. 3 straight Petty races as the presenting sponsor for Petty International Raceway competition on the series. From drivers racing in some new paint schemes, a couple of rookies there towards the back. Past champions, race winners. Some of the best looks that I've ever seen on some super late models here in the Maritimes. Denver, can I put you on the spot right now? New race director. I mean, you've been putting in such an effort here to keep this thing going, especially with the departure of Brent Roy. Especially the contingency program in particular. You've been putting in such a great effort in getting sponsors to support the series and keep it going. You're about to debut here on the series. You've done the Mike Stevens Memorial last year with Super Late Model competition, but now you're about to take on a regional touring series. Where's your mind at right now?
It's not about me, it's about these drivers and these fans and these sponsors. That's the most important thing. So round of applause for everyone that's here today making this happen. This is an awesome turnout, awesome cars, awesome field. You know, this doesn't happen without everyone that's involved. So hats off to everybody. You know, we have some pretty awesome partners all across the board that have made this deal go around. Wouldn't be possible without them. But yeah, we're excited. This is a big year coming up, and we're looking forward to it. And these drivers are going to get up on the wheel and put on a show for us here. I know it.
I'm sure it'll be fun being up there with you all year.
Yeah, we're going to try to have some fun. You know, got to be serious, but you got to have a little bit of fun at the same time.
Absolutely. Again, Denver Matchett, new series director for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. By the way, when you're... Yeah, round of applause. There you go. Drivers, when you're ready to go, picker, when your driver is ready to go, please hold up the thumbs up, letting us know that you're ready. You're good to go, racing for 150 green flag laps presented by LV Auto Parts and Repair. So still waiting on Langell. Couple of cars back there. Denver, you can go ahead and give me the thumbs up when you believe everybody's good to go. There's the double thumbs up. LV Auto Parts and Repairs Victor, you're here to give the command. Grand Marshal for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 to begin the 2026 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. Give the command.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
It's time to go racing for the first time in 2026. 18 of Atlantic Canada's best 150 laps presented by LV Auto Parts and Repair.
When you see on, it's on.
One to green being signaled, and we're going to have the kids, we're going to have George up there in the flag stand, give them the first green flag on the year. Pace car lights are off. The pace car will go into the infield. 18 of Atlantic Canada's best, starting the 2026 season off here at Petty International Raceway. It's the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. We're racing for the first time in 2026. Green flag in the air. Side by side for the race lead at the line. Ken Vincent will beat Braden Langell to the line to lead lap number 1 on the outside. Looked like Ashton Tucker might have had a bit of a lockup there on the previous lap going through 3 and 4, but everybody gets away all good. We're still good. Green flag racing. Still door-to-door early in this one, coming to 3 laps completed. Langell is going to lead that time by. And the number 26 Coldstream Clear Distillery machine. His first full-time season on the series. Looking to become the first Nova Scotian to be a champion on the series. Try to join the history books of Prince Edward Island's Dylan Gosby and Tan Woolridge, and New Brunswick's Ashton Tucker, who's still hanging on pretty calmly back there in 3rd place. Right in behind Langell. Tan Woolridge hanging on in 4th right now with 5 laps completed as they go down the back straightaway. Top 4 starting to pull away. Devin Snell has moved his way up from 8th to 5th. Last year's Easy-Kleen 150 winner at Speedway 660. His first big super late model 150 win. Single file now for the entire top 5. It's Messer and Hughes side by side in behind the 10 of Devin Snell down the front stretch. Messer ahead in that new yellow Service Master Clean machine. The battle for 7th rages on. It's Steve Halpin versus Chris Hughes, a pair of Maritime Racing veterans aspiring for a full-time season on the series. Halpin was a perennial contender almost every race that we had back in 2023. Ever since then, life kind of got in the way. Did some part-time starts, a couple of runner-up finishes in the Pro Stock 250 at Speedway 660, including last year. And then Chris Hughes in the ECI Trucks number 32. The Stratford driver. Driving an old Dylan Blankhorn car. That fun fact actually never saw racetrack time. That ended up being a backup car that Blankhorn never drove. And so Hughes took it on. It's a Van Dorn chassis. Hughes having been partnered with King Competition last year. Things didn't go too great. The luck wasn't really on Hughes' side, so we'll see here what he can do here on a full-time campaign with us. Top 5 remains unchanged. Here comes Halpin peeking to the outside of Ryan Messer, your runner-up finisher from both Petty races last year. It's kind of a snake right now with Ken Vincent leading Braden Langell, Ashton Tucker, and Tanton Woolridge. Great to see Ken Vincent consistently leading laps here. Again, a former Rivergate International winner back at a time when the International and the Maritime Pro Stock Tour were a collaboration. Oh, that was tight between Vincent and Langell, about a block down the front stretch. That was probably about catastrophic to say the least. Vincent lets him go now. It's side by side again. Langell will lead that lap. We're now at 16 of 150 laps completed in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Langell clears the way. Now it's Tucker versus Vincent for 2nd place. Vincent's going to allow Tucker by, and then there's Woolridge. And now to the right rear quarter panel, the 26. Here comes Ashton Tucker. Tucker will now lead the way at 18 laps completed. Woolridge past Vincent. This was the one track last year where Woolridge was not able to crack the podium, finishes a 4th and 10th. If he can add this track to his podium list, then watch out for him to possibly try and defend the series championship. But we also know at the same time too, that team, they got the championship last year, but the one void that they had in their statistics was a feature win. Troy Burke came oh so close in that 01 machine many times on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour at his home track of Oyster Bed Speedway. So we'll see if Woolridge can put that 01 car into victory lane on a regional touring series. How about the hard charger performance out of Dylan Gosby? Battle for 8th, Gosby looking to get past Chris Hughes. I'm sure that battle has been familiar to many longtime PEI racing fans from the 2010s through the early 2020s as Gosby will get by. Into 8th place, Gosby started at the tail end of the field, 18th position after electing for the rear in his heat race. That ultimately led him to having to start at the back for the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Back up towards the front, new driver in a second place. It's Tanton Woolridge. Past Braden Langell down the backstretch. Tucker still leads now with 25 of 150 laps completed. Tucker is approaching Kevin Moore to put him a lap down. And oh man, would we ever love to see Kevin Moore finally finish out one of these races. Last year there was not a single race where that 88 machine came across the line at the checkered flag. As we all know, his most dramatic outing of all those times, the wild ride at Speedway 660 in the Easy-Kleen 150 last August. Hopefully we don't see another Dukes of Hazzard replica here in 2026. And so it's Tucker, Woolridge, Langell, Vincent Snell, your current top 5, although Halpin's closing in on the 10. Halpin nearly was a podium finisher in last year's LV Auto Parts and Repair Riverglade International 200, the season finale for the series. And he's finished on the podium here before. It was back in 2023 where he did close in on that battle between Corey Hall and Dylan Gosby, but ultimately just came out short and nonetheless still got himself a podium trophy. Now single file throughout this entire field, 32 of 150 laps into this one. Tucker's going to come to 33 laps completed. Just barely over a second, the difference between the two and the 01. That's a pair of King Competition prepared machines. Maybe come out of the same King Competition shop, but when it comes to the teams, Brad Silica Motorsports and Amir Mache up against 01 Motorsports at Prince Edward Island. And Woolridge is closing in. Again, we've seen races before where Tucker tends to leave it a little bit conservative at the start, and then he really turns it on towards the second half of the race. But again, those two guys were really close in their earlier practices. There was one point during the first practice where the two of them were 1,000th of a second in difference of fastest lap times. Tucker ultimately ended up leading both practices. Woolridge still up towards the front. As Tucker will put Ian Rasmussen a lap down. Next up will be rookie Michael Cormier. First start on the series, third career super late model start. With the past two both coming here at Petty Raceway in the Mike Stevens Memorial and a Maritime Pro Stock Tour race back in 2022. Same car for Oval Outlaw Racing, operated by Wayne Smith. As we continue to have a great battle going on here, Steve Halpin against Ryan Messer, still going out for that final top 5 position. So we just continue to log laps. Again, a friendly reminder that we do not have competition cautions. We don't have control cautions. If this race goes green flag from the very first one, lap 0, all the way to 150, then yeah, that's the rule. Only incident-related yellows, debris, or a car stop on track, whatever it may be, has to be incident-related. Almost 3 wide there as Braden Landell's trying to get past a couple lap cars in Rasmussen and Michael Cormier. So Halpin and Messer battling for 5th. Gosby looking to the inside of Evan Snell for 7th as the 16 continues his hard charger performance. Again, Gosby did get that runner-up finish here with us 3 years ago, but ever since then, the finishes have just been very, very up and down. A mechanical issue was the reason for a DNF in last year's season finale. And after the season that was 2024, last year was nonetheless still a big redemption arc for that NAV Canada number 16 team for Ken Livingston, KLR Motorsports. A beautiful blue and white NAV Canada Fury machine, also at the King Competition Shop. Tucker gets past the 97 of Chris Duncan. Next up, rookie Clark Moore. Third start on the series. Good to have the driver out of St. John back with us after kind of sticking to more local competition at Speedway 660 for the past couple of years. He is the reigning Speedway 660 Pro Stock champion. Oh, Duncan in the wall in the backstretch. Looked like it might have been contact with Clark Moore. Oh, Ken Vincent smoking down the front stretch. Oh, boy. Oh, left front tire. It looks like a tire down. Or is that? And he's smoking hard as he's slowing through turns 3 and 4. He's trying to get back around kind of along the curb, trying to let everybody get by safely. But yeah, we just had 2 different sort of incidents, I guess, kind of happen there. Clark Moore and Chris Duncan got tight there on the backstretch, and now Ken Vincent has an issue. He keeps going slow around the racetrack. We stay green with 52 of 150 laps completed. Vincent finally up the hill in turns 1 and 2, and he's going to head to the pits. A heartbreaker for the Prince Edward Island Ironman, who led a couple of laps early on this one after starting on the front row. Meanwhile, as we continue green flag racing here, Dylan Gosby, Ryan Messer are side by side for position number 5.
54 is going to bunker.
And Vincent had that happen there while he was up towards the front of the field. So yeah, everybody from him behind has now moved a position up. Gosby has been clicking positions here. He keeps advancing his way up through the field. I do wonder if at some point we may end up getting a caution. If we do get a restart, what could he do possibly to make up a couple even more positions? Because right now, Ashton Tucker, Tan Warge, both of them are a long ways away at the moment. Oh, contact! Gosby and Halpin, the 16 saves into turn number 1. Halpin was using Moore as a pick. Gosby might have had a bit of a panic, or there was a weird situation right there. It looks like something's sticking out of the right rear of the 54 as well. So this race certainly has had its moments throughout the field, but we're still going. 60 laps completed. What a run out of these drivers. We've had a couple close calls, but some amazing green flag racing that we have here at Petty International Raceway to start off the 2026 season. Ian Rasmussen up high in 1 and 2. He's also going to head off to the pits. Messer's been trying these past couple laps to get back to Gosby and try to get past him. Messer ran into a fuel pump problem during practices and had to replace it. Didn't get a whole lot of practice time, at least after the first session. He was fast in that first one, but then not able to get a whole lot of laps after that. Yeah, every couple laps he was just about on that rear bumper of the NAV Canada machine. As we're at 65, 150 laps completed now. Tucker's gone past Fay, Weston, Devin Snell's up next as they're door to door through 3 and 4. Tucker has gone past Devin Snell. That's well over half the field now. That's a lap down. Just yet again another powerhouse performance here by the driver, Amir Mashi. Again, back at the racetrack where last year the former Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series champion added a Maritime Pro Stock Tour title to his resume. This track has become Ashton's kingdom for quite some time. And yet again, another 11th hour entry. We originally did not have him on the entry list. But as has become a common pattern, gets into one late, and he's just clicking all these cars off. Right now, the difference at the line between the 2 and the 01 is now at just over 2.5 seconds. Now it's 72 of 150 laps completed. And that gap's probably going to increase even more as Woolridge is stuck in around 3 lap cars. Fay, Snell, Hudson, Weston. Halfway on the 2, next time by, says Race Control. We'll get the cross flags from flagman Buddy Gelhart. Halfway through the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150 to begin the 2026 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series season. Chris Hughes looks like he might have been a bit off the pace right there. But he's still going all good as he's in behind Halpin, Gosby, Messer. He's currently at the back of the top 10. So it's Tucker, Woolridge, Langell, Halpin, Gosby, top 5, Messer, Fay, Snell, Weston, Hughes, top 10. As this time by, Tucker's going to come to 80 of 150 laps completed. A long green flag run. These drivers are certainly experiencing quite a grueling event right here. Oh, Devin Snell's going off to the pits. So even though we've had some close calls, we haven't had any quote-unquote incidents in particular, but we've had drivers dealing with some bad luck, mechanical issues, Ken Vincent up in smoke earlier. So we've still had some stuff going on that definitely could play a big role in the championship as the season goes on. 88 Kevin Moore now heading off. Now again, for some of these drivers too, it's still early in the season. It is round number 1. A lot of these drivers are trying to ease back into the year. Oh, Michael Cormier slow up in turns 3 and 4. Is he going to come to a halt? That's going to be a 2-lap penalty. Comes out. Yellow flag on the speedway.
Hi, I'm Chris Duncan, and I've been building, installing, and servicing pressure washers with Easy-Kleen Pressure Systems for over 20 years. At Easy-Kleen, we service all makes and models of pressure washers. At all of our branches across North America, we have in-house and we also have mobile service. We also have preventative maintenance programs and emergency service, so you're never down. Give us a call at Easy-Kleen.
So, clam digger's caution, I should say, with 83 of 150 laps completed. Michael Cormier in the number 4 Oval Outlaw Racing Petty Raceway machine. At the end of that turn 4 outside wall has come to a rest. And a reminder that all cars that come to a halt on the racetrack causing a caution will be penalized 2 laps. It doesn't matter if it's intentional, it doesn't matter if your car breaks. That's just simply the penalty. Which, yeah, I said Clam Digger's caution, thanks to Clam Digger's Restaurant on Prince Edward Island. Platinum partner, originally a founding partner of the series. One of Prince Edward Island's best food offerings with a breathtaking water view in Cardigan. Located on the waterfront for all your PEI seafood selections. The best ones on the island. You go to Clam Digger's Restaurant. Thanks to Ken Livingston and the crew there for supporting what we do. We'll shout out Brightcon Construction as well as being a platinum partner. They're based in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Heavy civil contractor specializing in excavation, water and sewer, road building, and many infrastructure projects. Thanks to Brian Noggle and the team there at Brightcon Construction for being a platinum partner on the series. So as race control figures out the lineup and race cars go into the pits, it's a crazy contingency program that we've got going on. I mean, 5-star race car bodies has a random draw. It's a product certificate. EIT Race Radios has the pole award, as we've talked about before. P1 chassis, that's Preston Peltier.
Okay.
The P1 chassis fastest lap award. I mean, remember Lonnie Somerville last year winning in the P1 in that P1 chassis machine, the number 23 in last year's Recar 200, the first P1 chassis to be raced in Canada. The joy of seating, courtesy of former NASCAR driver Randy LaJoy, first place finisher prize. So each feature winner gets $250 USD credit towards a new seat. Swift Springs, 5th place prize. QA1 Shocks is in there for 7th place. We got obviously Long Anchor Racing Products for the tech area, a prize for the 11th place finisher, and the final car on the lead lap. GD Fabrication, Race Cars, and CRF Chassis are collaborating for the Crew Chief of the Race Award, which is going to go to the crew chief specifically in 4th place. So whoever finishes 4th, that crew chief is going to walk away with $125 in gas money. And there's a year-end prize in there as well. Max Pappas Innovations has the Up on the Wheel Award. Ha ha ha, because MPI makes racing wheels. They specialize in that. It's AKA the Hard Charger Award. King Competition with the Chasing the Checkers Award, which is for the highest finisher without a victory on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. So right now in line for that would be Tanton Woolridge. That's $250 King Competition credit. Go figure for a King car. They also have a Race Winners Bonus Challenge, which it's a thing of where if you win from 50%, you get $1,000. Next start, you win from 75%, $2,000. There's the next start, win from dead last, $3,000, which that accumulates to a massive, massive winnings number that you could get at a King competition if you're able to accomplish something so remarkable. Castrol Motor Oil is also with us as well in the contingency program. So again, thank you to all contingency partners for your support of the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series for 2026.
54 to 97.
54, follow the 97. So 97 up 1, 54, follow the 97. 54, follow the 97. 20, you will be at the very back is the lucky dog.
Yeah, lineup's good there.
As we run, lineup is now correct.
Back.
So we are going to be good shoes on the back. Next time, spotters, communicate to your drivers, shoes on the back. Buddy,
This time by race fans, drivers are going to choose their lane. If you see the white triangle on the backstretch, it's the choose rule. On restarts, drivers get to choose if they want to restart on the inside or the outside. If you go through that triangle, then yeah, you're going to the back. So everybody, we got double file. Tucker chose the outside, Woolridge to the inside. I'm very interested to see on this short run what Woolridge can do against the two, because we did see the 01 start to close in on Tucker earlier today, and they were both basically the fastest cars in practice sessions. Halpin's third, Langel's fourth, then Messer, Gosby, that's your top six. Hughes, Weston, LeBlanc, Moore, Clark Moore, Duncan, Rasmussen, and Fay, and a couple of cars off the racetrack. Pace car's going to go off 1 to green this time by, and finally we're going to get to use this. It's the on-the-gas restart zone that Woolridge and Tucker are going to lead the field back into. Restart this one, green flag in the air. "13 cars make it 14 as Cal Hatfield has just come back out onto the racetrack from the pits. Tucker will lead now with 84 of 150 laps completed. Woolridge trying to hang on to that left rear quarter panel of the number 2. He gets back in behind. Battling from 3rd to 6th, it's Halpin inside, Langell outside, and then in behind them it's Messer and Gosby. Woolridge still giving Tucker a couple of looks as they're starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Halpin will clear the way to 3rd. Trying to get his first podium with us since 2023. Marcel LeBlanc up the hill towards the back of the pack. So Halpin trying to pull away here from Messer. Messer ahead of a battle between Gosby and Langell. The 26 has started to fall back just a little bit here. Woolridge is about closing in on that back bumper of the number 2. He's filling that rearview mirror with a Brad Silica Motorsports machine. That 01 Motorsports team has made it very clear, especially over the entire offseason, they want to win. They got the championship last year, which was completely unexpected for what was supposed to be a growing year for the team and the driver. But what do you know, they came out as the youngest super late model champion in the region. But now they want to win. They want to get into victory lane. It's about 3/10 of a difference that time by now with 91 laps completed between the 2 and the 01. It's just about a second or so between the 01 and the 03. It's Halpin 3rd, Messer 4th. Gosby clears Langell for 5th. Greg Fay currently in 7th as the lucky dog on that restart. Didn't have the greatest start to the day. The AEH Motorsports team did a couple setup changes going into this one, and it didn't work out so well during practice sessions. Fay was towards the bottom of the board, bottom of the charts, and so they reversed back to what they originally had, and it seems like that car's starting to come back alive now as we're approaching 100 laps completed and 50 laps to go. Weston 8th, Hughes 9th, and Marcel LeBlanc right now rounding up the top 10. How about that? For car number 30, Braden Langell goes to the pits. Wow. Something about that car just seemed off within the last couple laps. If we're looking at a championship run, that is not a good start for the 26 Coldstream Clear Distillery machine out of Shubenacadie, Nova Scotia. Tucker will be coming around this time to 102 laps completed. Woolridge is not letting him get too far away. The gap is now at 8/10. And I just know if that 01 team pulls off the victory here, that team, including Troy Burke, is going to have quite the party tonight. And going back home to Prince Edward Island, especially with Oyster Bay Speedway starting their season off tomorrow. And I mean, with the social media championship that we have for these race teams this year as well, that 01 Motorsports team, that social media presence, Ryan Burke, Bailey Burke, all the gals and everybody else in 01 Motorsports have been putting in a great social media effort for that 01 team. So if a Woolridge is able to pull something off here late in this one, you'll want to tune into the 01 Motorsports social media pages. But it continues to be all Ashton Tucker now at 106 laps completed. As Tucker's going to get past Rasmussen. Next up is going to be Marcel LeBlanc. Halpin, Messer, and Gosby continue to be kind of stuck in their own little pack together. Just now getting to the start-finish line as Tucker's now just getting off at turn 2. So a big 3-car battle right there to try and get onto the podium. Messer wants to keep his Petty podium streak going. Gosby wants to get back on the podium. He only got one last year at Oyster Bay Speedway. Rasmussen, high in turns 1 and 2. He's going to go to the pits. 38 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. It's now the 9/10, just under a second between the 2 and the 01. Lap traffic kind of playing a factor there as they're getting past Clark Moore, Hughes, LeBlanc. And man, oh man, what a battle this continues to be for that third and final podium position between Halpin, Gosby, and Messer. It's now the 03 and the 16 door-to-door down the back straightaway. Messer behind them. Oh, nearly contact. Through turn 4, looks like there's a couple scruffs in that 16 car, I do notice. But Dylan Gosby up to third. What a hard charger performance we're seeing out of our inaugural series champion. That car has been on fire, especially on the long run. It's about a straightaway apart, I want to say, between the 01 and the 16 at the moment, so I don't know if Gosby might have enough time to close in on Woolridge. He did steal second place from Woolridge back at a race at Oyster Bay Speedway last year, so you never know. Messer poking his nose underneath Steve Halpin for fourth. Gosby getting past Hughes and LeBlanc. Tucker's going to put Chris Duncan a lap down. Could we see Hughes and LeBlanc possibly used as picks right here as Halpin and Messer are stuck in behind them trying to go for position number 4? And yes, that's going to be a pick. Here comes Messer to the outside. Hughes has Halpin block. It's a blockage right there on the inside line. Messer up to 4th. Great timing, great positioning for the Service Master Clean Machine. Ashton Tucker's closing in on 25 laps to go in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. This time by is going to come to 25 laps to go, 25 laps away from 6 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series Petty International Raceway wins in a row. He completed a drive for 5 last year, both in this scenario and also at Speedway 660 with the Pro Stock 250. Barring anything that happens within these closing laps of today's event, it looks like it's going to be all Ashton Tucker. It's about a second and a half now between the 2 and the 01. Twelve of the 18 cars that started remain on this racetrack with nearly 20 laps completed. Braden Langell, Ian Rasmussen, Devin Snell, Kevin Moore, Michael Cormier, and Ken Vincent all DNFs. Done for the day. Oh, LeBlanc was sideways there going through 1 and 2. LeBlanc is 20 laps away from a possible 8th place finish. What a run that would be. That would be his first career super late model top 10 finish. The entire field single file now. Things have calmed down. Aside from lap cars, lead lap cars, as Tucker is about to get past Greg Fay at the moment. Coming to 15 laps to go. No battles going on throughout this field. So right now, unless we have a late race yellow, which has been a pattern in some of our Petty International Raceway races on the series in past years, right now, looking like Mirror Machine and Brunswick going to victory lane and 2 Prince Edward Island drivers, 2nd and 3rd. I'm sure, even though Gosby has been more of a long run car here today, if we do get a caution, if we were to get a restart, I do wonder what damage he could possibly do if he were to get there to Tucker and Woolridge. Right now it's not looking promising, but nonetheless, to start this year off with a podium would be fantastic for that crew. 10 laps to go, coming this time by for the 2 of Ashton Tucker and Brad Silica Motorsports. This driver's about won almost everything across the Maritimes. Summer Clash 250 winner, Mike Stevens Memorial winner, Pro Stock 250, still with an IWK 250 to try and hunt down later this year. Many victories at Petty Raceway, Speedway 660, Scotia Speedway, Riverside International Speedway. Still looking for that first win at Oysterbed Speedway as well. But just a couple laps away from yet another win on the Riverglade High Banks. It's getting a little bit tight as Woolward just trying to get past lap traffic. Marcel LeBlanc, Greg Fay, and Chris Hughes are all kind of in a pack there together. It might help Gosby possibly steal second place. But Tucker is coming to 3 laps to go this time by. Looking at the popsicle sticks in the air. This time by for the Miramichi driver. 2 laps to go. Ashton Tucker 2 laps away from a Petty 6-pack. He'll continue to be the winningest driver on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series if he can get back here. White flag in the air. Down the backstretch for one final time through 3 and 4. He's going to do it. 6 Petty International Raceway races in a row on the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series. Ashton Tucker wins the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. Tan Ward second. Dylan Gosby third. Ryan Messer and Steve Halpin will round out the top 5. We will head trackside and talk to your top 3. He's got the checker flag, climbing out of the car. I can hear you now. Your winner is Ashton Tucker. Six in a row. Yet another one. Take us through that one. How was that?
Yeah, that feels good. That was a hot race. Wasn't really sure how it was going to play out, but it was slick out there, and I really just tried to save my stuff. Tanton, he's a hell of a wheelman. He's patient. He saves his stuff. So I just really wanted to conserve my stuff and not end up losing it late to him. But I'm just happy we came this weekend, and it feels great. This place treats us pretty good.
And you did at the start have to battle your way through there, starting in third, and you drew dead last for the heat race draws, but you hard charged your way up, and then just like that, you're able to get your way to the front. This track continues to treat you well.
Yeah, luckily this series, if you draw a bad spot in the heat race, it isn't that bad. It usually might give you a good starting spot. So we had a great starting spot. The crew worked hard all day. We had some car issues, and we really didn't get much practice, but we got it sorted out there right at the end of second practice, and the car was just great all day. So this place treats us well, and I'm happy to pick up another win here on this series here.
And a good tune-up, too, as you try to go for another championship over on the Maritime Pro Stock Tour.
Yeah, great tune-up. Love racing here. Congrats to Tanton and Dylan. Nice to see a King competition and sweep the podium here. It just shows how good their stuff is. But yeah, we're just going to
keep going. It's a good way to start the year, but that's what we want, wins, and that's what we're going to go for this summer.
Sponsors, partners, family, friends, who helps you get to the racetrack?
Yeah, White Lightning Auto Center, Baisley's Interior and Exterior Construction, Hotsy's Atlantic, JTR Mobile, Big Cam, Lefties, Moncton Truck Center, MBCSA, Post Tech, Vise Construction, Big Wheels, Chris G Plumbing, and all the family and team that support us. It's we can't thank them enough, and I'm happy we could get another win.
Hopefully we might see you again sometime this year, hopefully, right?
Yeah, hard to say. If we can come back here and run like this, I wouldn't mind coming back, but we'll see how the year goes.
Yeah, maybe 7 in a row. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really good start. So, looking forward to in 2 weeks' time. We go to one of my favorite places, and hopefully we'll try to be able to get one there.
Yeah, and as you said, this track was the one place you didn't get on the podium last year. Speedway 660 Oyster Bay, Speedway, a different story. But now that you have a podium here, I can only imagine how much confidence that gives all of you, knowing that now at all 3 Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series host tracks, for maybe another championship run or to get that first win, I imagine instills a lot of confidence in the team.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, this is our weakest link. We knew coming into the season that if we wanted to have a similar year as last year or better it, that we would have to figure this place out. So spent hours upon hours studying this place, trying to get better. Learn from my past mistakes, learn from what the 2, the 83, the 1, what they do at this racetrack. Big thank you to Kenny McKenzie, Craig Slomwood. I gave them a little shout out asking for some tips before we came here. So thank you to them for answering those.
And a slick racetrack, dealing with lap traffic, a couple of battles throughout there. How were you able to manage it all?
A huge thank you to Andrew Hick, and he kind of came on our radio today, and he managed me through the race. Chrissy was up there calling the communications and navigations, but Andrew was kind of navigating me through how I should run the race. Big thank you to Robbie, Troy, Chris, the other Chris, both Daves, Guppy, the entire crew, Cruz, Corey Rayner. There's a huge crew that works on this thing, and they had it dialed in today.
And the next 4 races now, 660 Oyster Bed, 2 each at those 2 tracks, and we've seen how you've done there. How are you looking forward? How are you looking forward to those as you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the butter inside the sandwich for us. So, like I said, we studied a lot for this race, and I haven't looked at 660 yet through what I need to. So, a lot of work to do in these next two weeks of studying film and everything that I can to try to get acquainted and get better there. So, we'll keep digging and see what we got.
Who would you like to shout out here to make all this happen?
Yeah, big thank you to Chris Fournier, Remax, Livingston Steel, GSD Utility Services, Precision Tile, Troy Burke Whitecap, Rangers Automotive, SGK Atlantic. There's plenty more. JS Plumbing and Heating. So tons of sponsors that help us out.
We'll see you in a couple weeks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's the 01 and 10 Warward, second place in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. And now to third place. Round of applause for Dylan Gosby. What a performance here. That hard charger from the back of the field to a podium finish. And to start this year off, I know like last year was kind of that redemption arc because we know how 2024 went. How were you able to make it all the way to the front, especially with what you've been dealing with today?
Man, the car was awesome. We drove the wheels off it. Guys never quit. We were having issues with wiring and whatever for the last couple of races, and we didn't make it to the end. So we didn't know where we were going to end up in this one, but I was going to drive the wheels off it till it stopped, and we ended up here.
And for the first series race here, you start with a second place finish, and then it kind of turned into a bit of an Achilles heel from there, just inconsistent finishes, but now here, a big one here. It's been a little while since we've been on the podium at this track. What does it mean to finally get a good run back here?
It feels awesome, man. We're looking to carry the momentum through.
Indeed. And how does this put confidence into you now going into the next couple of weeks, especially with your home track soon coming up?
I'm always confident. Don't matter if we have a bad day or not. I try to stay positive, so we'll just be that much better.
Who gets a thanks on number 16?
We got a lot of people that help us out. We got Nav Canada, Clam Diggers, Pick a Care, Heinz Paving, Chapman Brothers Paving, Trackside AI.
All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks at Speedway 660. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
That's the 60 of Dylan Gosby, folks. One more time for your top 3 in the LV Auto Parts and Repair 150. So again, congratulations to Ashton Tucker, Tan Woolridge, and Dylan Gosby. As they continue their celebrations, folks, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming on out and supporting what we do and supporting our season opener here to begin year number 4 of the series. And, of course, for all the other divisions as well, Modified Tour, Mini Stocks, Street Stocks, Late Model Sportsman. What an opening day here at Petty Raceway to begin the 2026 Maritime Stock Car Racing season. We will see you all for the Easy-Kleen Super Late Model Series in 2 weeks at Speedway 660 for 150 more green flag laps. Petty Raceway, we will see you on Monday. Until then, take care, safe travels home.